It is everything we expected, and everything, frankly, that Juan Soto expected and hoped for. And it might continue all night. Ball one to Soto.
Oh, it will.
Last year as a Yankee, 41 home runs, a career high, 109 RBIs, 989 OPS, as he and Judge formed quite the 1-2 tandem.
Don't kid yourself. He'll get this reception for the next 15 years in this building.
I think so.
I have heard opposing players booed before. I have never heard anything like this. Now, I know they say that the Yankee fans booed Altuve like this, but this is something else. And Rodon is behind him 3-0. So if there's a little anxiety on Soto's part, with all these boos raining down on him, he is showing none of that at the plate.
Do you give him a 3-0 hit sign?
Why not?
Yeah, I agree. And wouldn't that be a capper if he launched one?
Instead, he takes a strike. Well, Soto has had homecomings before. In his first game for the Yankees against the Padres after he was traded, he had a 2-run homer off Yu Darvish. In his first game for the Padres against the Nats, he had 2 hits. And he takes the walk, and the Mets have a 1-out base runner. 34th walk of the year for Soto, who started the night second in the National League behind Marcell Ozuna.
I don't know who was more nervous, Rodon or Soto.
The Yankees scored 4 in the bottom of the third. Now Carlos Rodon, who's been sitting in the dugout for a long time, gets ready to try and protect that lead, with Juan Soto set to lead off for the Mets. Soto's been the Mets' only base runner tonight. He walked and stole a base in the first inning, and 27 minutes after his last pitch, Rodon throws a fastball for a strike. Talk about hitting for a half hour. They almost did. Alonso and Vientos to follow, and Soto takes a slider down, a ball and a strike.
Okay. I hope you feel better, sir.
Outstanding arts and crafts.
Yes.
What font did he use? Well, the stadium only has so much vitriol. Not nearly the reaction for the second at bat that he got for the first one. 1-2 coming. And bounces that slider, 2-2.
I think the 4 points helped.
Well, it was clear when Soto batted in the first inning that the only person unnerved by it was Carlos Rodon.
No doubt.
But he regained his composure, got a nice defensive play behind him the next at bat, and has settled in since. 2-2 coming. And that's away. Full count.
Good eye. I'm just of the feeling, Ronnie, that he does not swing at breaking balls in the dirt. He'll chase some fastballs. If you got Soto up, you got to go after him.
Yeah. 3-2 from Rodon. And he's just got a piece of that fastball to stay in the at bat.
Well, that was a fastball. Tried to load up on that. Just got it. A little piece of it. Wells could not corral it.
Soto's walk in the first inning was his 34th of the year. On a pace for about 120 walks. And he grounds that one foul. He seems to be having a really good time. 8th pitch of the at bat from Rodon. And that's too high, ball 4, and Soto walks for a second time.
Doesn't sound quieter to me.
Well, now the Yankee fans have a 5-run lead. They're playing with house booing. Soto's been up twice, walked both times, so he certainly hasn't been over anxious. Stole a base in the first inning, scored the Mets' only run in the fourth. Maybe that's why Rice isn't playing tonight. And that was up and in.
Oh.
And did they call that a swing?
No.
They were asking.
I mean, that's amazing, right? Anytime he gets to 0-1,
Wow.
086 against him. That's the lowest batting average after an 0-1 count of any pitcher in the majors.
Interesting, after that exchange up and in, the first exchange, he came right, Rodon, I don't know whether he meant to do it on purpose, but he came right back up and in, Ronnie.
And he drops in the slider for a strike, and it's 2-2.
Up and in, down and away.
Two coming. Lifts one foul. Takes the sinker down. It's 3-2. I saw an interesting stat on Soto yesterday that last year, if you compare last year with his career averages, he pulled the ball 6% more, which is a big piece.
Yeah.
So he obviously was playing to the ballpark. This year we've seen him use left center much more effectively. He pulls that one, foul.
Well, at this ballpark, you know that he can cover the ball. He's got great power to left center, but in this ballpark, it can end up being an FH.
I just feel some of it has to do with the fact that he just, I think, getting settled. He hasn't really settled in. He hasn't found a hot streak yet.
7th full count for Rodon tonight, including 2 against Soto. And Juan walks for the 3rd time.
Jeez.
4 walks for Rodon, 3 of them to Soto, so he's aboard with 2 out for Alonso. Well, the boos have not phased Juan tonight. He's been up 3 times, walked all 3. Now facing Leiter for the first time. And he fouls off the first pitch fastball, 0-1. Curveball stayed outside, a ball, a strike. Soto's 3 walks give him 36 for the year. OPS up to 855. And he checks his swing. Did he go? He did not. Laid off the splitter, 2-1.
Soto in a full conversation with Austin Wells.
He loves to converse during his at-bats.
Yeah.
Often with the home plate umpire. Two.
Keith, you didn't talk a lot at all.
No.
No. Yeah.
Only if an umpire missed one.
Even Tony Pena couldn't get you to talk?
Gary Carter was the big chatterbox behind the plate. I told him to shut up one time.
So nice of you. Manners.
Pétois. 2-2. And that splitter just missed, dropping into the strike zone. Full count. Well, 3rd straight time that Soto's run a full count.
Mike Baxter watching this game now.
Soto never walked 4 times in a game as a Yankee. Hasn't done it yet as a Met. Baxter became the only Met to walk 5 times in a 9-inning game. That was in San Diego a few years back. Three-two from Leiter, and Soto bangs one off the mound right to Volpe, and the throw is in time to retire the side. Well, Juan Soto gets one more crack back in the Bronx. Walked his first 3 times up tonight. He grounded out in the 7th. And now with the Mets down to their final out and twice already down to their final strike, still moving in this 9th inning. And Soto just trying to get on base any way he can to get Pete Alonso to the plate as the tying run against Luke Weaver.
Luke Weaver, you see his numbers on the year. He waited his time out while Devin Williams was imploding there early in the season and took over the mantle just like he did last season. Pretty flawless down the stretch. Not
indicated in those stats, though. He's inherited 10 runners this year, and 5 of the 10 have scored. Comes in with 2nd and 3rd and 2 out. The Mets down to their last out. And Soto, first pitch swinging, fouls it away. And Soto in a spot where he needs to get on any way he can, going against type there, and trying to jump on a first pitch fastball. Soto's had 9 career at-bats against Weaver, 2 for 9. 2 walks and an RBI double for Lindor have given the Mets a run in this top of the 9th. One more base runner, and then Alonso could come up as the tying run. And Soto flies one out to center. Should be easy for Grisham. And the Yankees have taken game 1 of the Subway Series. A 4-run 3rd inning, a 2-run 4th inning. Lots of boos for Juan Soto. And the Yankees defeat the Mets in the first game in the Bronx 6-2. Every time we show the crowd when Soto's coming up, it's as though our broadcast is digitally enhanced.
Good call.
Soto walked in his first 3 plate appearances last night, and he takes a first pitch cutter for a strike, 0-1.
Are you saying we're number 1?
Twice for many. Soto flied out to end the game against Luke Weaver last night, as Weaver was forced to come on for a save in a game the Yankees led by 5 runs in the 9th inning. And Schmidt quickly ahead on Soto 0-2. Mets haven't seen much of Schmidt. He made 1 relief appearance against them in 22, 1 start in 2021. Soto facing Schmidt, his former teammate, for the first time. And he takes that slider inside, a ball and 2 strikes.
Oh, doesn't like it.
Well, he saw 2 strikes with the sunglasses, and now he'll go without.
Yep. I wouldn't want to hit with sunglasses.
That little bend that Schmidt does before he starts his motion, is that distracting for a hitter?
I don't know, Keith.
I'll take a look here and let me see. But you know, your focus as a hitter, Gary, is always, you don't pay attention to the motion. Your focus is on the point of release out of the pitcher's hand.
It's like he kick-starting a motorcycle.
And he strikes out Soto. And that's the 2nd out. And now Soto up for the 2nd time. Well, struck out his first time today after 0 for 2 with 3 walks last night. Schmidt has missed with 5 in a row to start the inning.
All of a sudden you get a pitcher a lead, and he has trouble finding the strike zone here.
Schmidt has walked some people early this season. He's averaged a little over 4 walks per 9 innings. And Soto lines a base hit into right field. So Juan Soto has his first hit back in his old haunts, and the Mets have the first 2 men on in the 4th.
You see, there's a classic example right there, Ron. You saw the catcher set up away. 5 straight balls all away to left-hand hitters, that sinker, and he makes the adjustment to throw the strike, and he throws it down the middle. He over-adjusts.
That's right. Good call.
I think the Met fans here are kind of evening it out.
Well, Soto had himself a base hit, his first in the series. Later stole third base and then scored the go-ahead run on a sac fly by Vientos. That's here with 2 out and nobody on. Soto has now stolen a base in 3 straight games for the first time in his major league career. Stole second last night with a walking lead against Carlos Rodon, and stole third in a similar fashion against Schmidt today. Ball to strike to Soto with Pete Alonso on deck.
That's a great shot. Oh, I love that.
It's Jazz Chisholm right there with the glove.
Big cut by Soto, 2-1. And Jazz is on the sidelines with an oblique injury, just trying to keep himself busy.
A little bit of cut on that fastball. Soto looked a little late again.
Big cut. Another big cut. He's just pulling that shoulder off a little bit too quick. And he's looking to pull.
Just not used to seeing a lot of swing and miss in his game.
Two coming.
Oh,
Backdoor breaking ball and did not get the call.
just
Full
missed.
count.
Tell you what, when he snaps off that slider, Ron, or whatever that is,
Knuckle curve
knuckle
there.
curve, it is a nasty pitch.
Three-two, and he walked him. So Soto's on base for the 5th time in this series. A 2-out walk. It's the 4th walk given up by Schmidt. The side-arming lefty Tim Hill is in the pitch. Juan Soto leads off for the Mets in the 8th and takes a fastball strike. Soto has swung the bat very well against lefties this year, but not against this lefty. In his career, he's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Hill.
Well, he's a little funkadelic.
He started out in Kansas City, went to San Diego. And a half swing by Soto. You can see how off balance this side-arming lefty has made him.
Yeah, tough to pick up.
That's why he's in the game.
And he rips one foul. Got out ahead of that. Another sinker by Hill.
I mean, when I came up, there was it Ramon Hernandez was the side-arming left-hander with the Pirates when they, I think, had some time with the Cubs.
How did you fare against Willie Hernandez, who ended up on the Tigers?
But he
was Phillies at some point.
in the Cubs.
The Cubs,
He had his big year with the Cubs.
Okay.
Before he went to Detroit, he was more 3/4.
Okay.
I was okay off him. Now, I think it was Ramon Hernandez. I stunk.
1-2. This is up and away with a slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Soto today has singled, stolen a base, and scored a run, and then walked. So he's been on base 5 times in the 2 games. And Soto flies one out to left. Dominguez retreating as the wind grabs it and stays with it for the out. So the Mets have the lead in the 9th, and now Juan Soto comes up to try to add to it with 2 out and 2 on. Soto's 1 for 3 and a walk today. And Soto cracks one on the ground right to Volpe, who had him played perfectly, and that retires the side. But the Mets grab the lead in the 9th, and now Edwin Diaz will come on to try to save it.
Soto gets set to come to the plate. That's strike one. Ought to be in the middle of a New York baseball rivalry.
Well, these two will always be connected too, because when Juan Soto signed with the Mets, the Yankees immediately signed Max Fried.
Infield shifts against Soto, who checks that swing. They'll appeal, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. A lot of fans have noticed there's been a lack of a Soto shuffle so far this year. He insists it's coming when the time is right.
When will the time be right?
It's a great question, and only he probably knows the answer to it. Hit .252 with 8 homers, 20 runs batted in. He has stolen 5 bases. And now a 2-1 from Fried. Amped up a little bit. That velocity's been hovering right around 98, 97.
Yeah, that was nasty. That was a sinker down and in. Just ate up Juan Soto right there. And it's kind of been the big change with Fried this year, is that two-seam sinker he throws in the lefties.
It's got 4 inches more drop this year than it had, and he has used it a career high at 18%. 2-2. The boos continue to cascade down on Soto. Boy, that was close. K-Zone had it just off, and it's full 3-2.
That's a great pitch right there by Max Fried. Did not get the call because it's Juan Soto at the plate also. You get the benefit of the doubt.
Handful of walks in his game on Friday. Here's the 3-2. And Soto pops one up towards Judge and the second baseman LeMahieu. He will yield to 99. Soto retired by Fried.
Last year was the year that Juan Soto pulled the ball more than any year in the air. He knows what this ballpark can do to you. Just a pitch that he was not able to get up to up in the zone and a little bit in. Great pitch by Fried.
You know who is up thanks to the boos? It's Juan Soto. And Fried's first one is down. When you look at Judge out there in right field, you know, Aaron Boone said too, he's learned what it takes to make sure he's in the best physical condition possible. Boy, fooled badly there. Sweeper curveball in there, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
That had almost 22 inches of horizontal break. And that's kind of been another characteristic that has changed for Max Fried. This particular pitch, rather than sliders, that's more of a sweeper. And boy, did that sweep.
And it creates that right there. Oh, he's pitching right now. Before the game early, it was Juan Soto and actually Wells having a conversation on the field for quite some time. Still continues. See, that pitch right there is where he used to do the Soto shuffle.
Yeah.
Frustrates sometimes pitchers, evening up the count.
$765 million contract, 15 years. Way outside, plus some family service clause perks that get charter flights to road games. Variety of other things. I mean, you mentioned it too. The Cohens embraced Soto and his family.
Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Cohen are very warm, around the lot, very available. They're a dynamic couple.
3-2. Off speed, frozen solid. That pitch there against Soto, he had no idea. Strikeout number 3 for Fried.
Been waiting for the Koufax style curveball. And here it is. He patterned this after the great Sandy Koufax, and it locks up a generational talent.
Watch
just
the
to show
knees.
you.
See
Yes.
the knees? Oh my. Talk about buckling.
And here comes Juan Soto. It was a knee buckler that got him in his last at bat. A wicked curveball from Fried. See the reaction from Soto. And Soto strikeout. K-Zone 3D Plus brought to you by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball. What a spot. Soto swings aggressively at the first one.
That graphic we just showed, that's 7 inches more break than the average curveball. That's enormous.
As hard as it is to hit a curveball, then you get one with 7 inches more break.
He made him buckle twice the last at bat. Twice. Never seen that before.
Yeah, comes inside. But what has defined Soto's early career is his ability to adjust to that.
Absolutely. Wondering if Bax will go back to it. If he does, will Soto be ready? Oh, what a time for the shuffle. I'm telling you, that 8-year-old kid, that 12-year-old kid that we've seen at the Little League World Series,
I find it almost remarkable that by just natural instinct, he doesn't do it. Like the idea he can turn it on and off. Tying run at third, McNeil. 2-1. Good pitch. He doesn't think so. 95 down and away.
That's the beauty of Max Fried's four-seamer. It just has boring action. Stays out there to the glove side.
Soto exits the Bronx. Fried enters the Bronx. 2-2. In the dirt, here he comes, and diving in safely to tie the game, McNeil. It's 2-2.
great read by McNeil. Soto egging him on. Let's go. Sarbaugh at third base. Let's go. McNeil doesn't hesitate. Good secondary. Anticipates the ball in the dirt. Lets it all out.
It's the high spin from the free breaking ball that ricochets the opposite direction off of the chest protector.
Full count to Soto. He is gone as he strikes out, and he and Fried exchange glances. But the New York Mets come back to tie it on one that got away from Austin Wells. And now Devin Williams on. Volpe tries to get the pitch calm for Juan Soto. Boy, it feels like every pitcher-batter matchup is loaded with stars. And here is a great one with Williams, who again had a terrific outing Friday night and needs another one here. He takes something off that 82 to net one in. Well, everything about it in slow motion. LeMahieu from his knees there to make the play. The pitch was slow. Soto's at bat, and his bat speed was slow. He was slow out of the box. And there's one down.
Yes. Almost a check swing. Watch him. Almost a sword. Stops the swing. LeMahieu with a great play on a tough hop, and Soto cruising down the line. No bueno.